Hello everyone, welcome to Power Automate Desktop tutorial with Level Up Tech. In the last video, we have seen how to display the message with the help of display message activity, and also we have seen how to get the input from the user and to display that particular whatever user has entered, how to display that like with the help of display message. Correct. So in this particular video, we will see what we are going to learn first. So in this particular video, we are going to learn about these activities or actions we can say. The first one is set variable, truncate number, generate random number, increase variable, and then decrease variable. Before jumping into each of these actions into the Power Automate desktop, we'll see what this means actually means. Okay. So what the set variable is going to do, it is just nothing but like assigning a value to a variable. Okay, like how we will do in the C programming or in other programming language. Like we will be declaring the data type and we will be mentioning the variable name and then we will have equals to and post that we will be having the value, right? Like this I equals to 0. This is nothing but assigning a value to this particular variable I. Correct. So that's what we are going to do with the help of set variable. We are not only going to assign a value to a variable, even if you set a value to a variable already, and if you want to overwrite that value, right, we can do it again with the help of set variable. Okay, that's what we are going to do with this particular action set variable. And then the next one is truncate number. So using truncate number, we will be able to get the integer part and then the decimal part, and also we will be able to round off the number also. When I say round off the number, assume like you have some value like this. Okay. So here the integer part is 12 and the fraction part is 0.346, right? That is the decimal part is 0.346. And once we do round off the number, what we will get it as output. Suppose if we are going to round off based on this third character, we will be getting 12.35. That's what our output, right? So these things and all we will be able to do it with the help of truncate number. And then the generate random number, it is just going to generate some random numbers. Okay. So for that we will be using generate random number action. And the other two things is increase variable and a decrease variable. It is more of like incrementing the counter. So in other programming language, you might have seen I plus plus. This I plus plus is nothing but I equals to I plus 1, right? So basically we are going to increment it by 1. So what values we will be incrementing? The integer parts only we will be able to increment, right? The string ones you will be not able to increment. Basically we are going to increment the numeric values. With this increase variable action and then decrease variable, it is completely contrast to increase variable. Using this we will be able to decrement the number. Okay, so now we will get into Power Automate desktop and we'll see how we can use these particular actions and all. So now I'm into Power Automate desktop. So these are all the things which we have seen earlier. So what I will do is I will delete this particular action. We don't need that input dialog, and even we can delete this as well. So now our workspace is clean. Now we are going to use this particular activities. So which activity we are going to first see? We are going to see set variable first. Okay. So which I have highlighted, right? So we are going to see, discuss about the set variable action first. So as we already know, like using this, we can assign a value to a variable, right? See, it is producing a variable. And here also you can see the same description, set the value of a new or existing variable. And also like if you want to create a new variable, we can create it. And if you want to overwrite a previously created variable, then that also can be done. So here it is providing a variable default variable name new var, and if we want to change it, yes we can change it. Like how we can change it? Just delete those variable name whatever it was there instead of this percentage, and now give you a new name. Okay, always follow the best practices, like always follow some camel case while naming the variable like this. User, the first one which we are using is small and the other one which we are using is capital. So this we will be calling it as camel case. So always follow the best practices. Okay. So username we have given, and for now I'm going to give our YouTube channel name level of text. So what we are doing for this particular variable, we are assigning a value, that is this level of text. So once we will, what is variable first? So here when I say variable, variable is used to store the value, right? And whenever we need that particular value to be accessed in later part of the code, we can just call this variable so that this particular value can be accessed, right? So that's what variable means, right? So this level up tick will be going to get stored in this variable username, and whenever we are going to call this username, we will be able to access this particular value level up tick, whatever we have given. So now we have saved it, and once we have created the variable, that variable will be coming here. Okay. So now set variable activity is done. What we will do is we'll display that. Okay. So we already know using display message only we will be able to display, right? So I'm using display message and giving some random things over here. I'm just giving some random values, and here what we want to display. So whatever we have assigned, right? So that value we want to display. So how we can display? So by accessing the variable we can display, right? We can access the value within it. So just click on this, and here you can see this is the variable which we have created, and now I'm choosing that. So just do a double click so that it will be popping out here. Okay. And these things and all we can leave it as empty because we know how this each and one of the properties going to work, right? Because we have already seen this earlier. Now I'll be saving it, and I'll be going to run it in debug mode. So when I say debug mode, you will be able to see stepwise execution. Okay. So here you can see in the before executing the completion of this activity, you have null. That is in username, we don't have any value. As soon as I hit on run next action, you will be able to see a value level up tick. This is what we have assigned, right? Using the set variable. So that is coming over here. Okay. Now once we do run next action, whatever value which this variable has, that variable we are calling here. So this particular value will be accessed over here. So if we do run next action, okay. So let's stop the bot and run it one more time. So as we can see, we got the prompt window, and the prompt window has the message level up text. Okay. So now what we did, we have just assigned the value to a variable, correct? Now we will be able to override the existing data also, right? So now we are going to see that again which activity we have to use. Again we have to use the set variable activity only. Just I took the copy, how I took the copy, control C, control V. Okay. And here I'm going to override this level up take with some learn with RPA. Okay, so learn RPA with level up tick. I'm going to give that particular value over here. Learn RPA with level up tick I have given. So here in the initial step, we have assigned this particular value to this particular variable. Now what we are doing, we are assigning this value to the same variable name which we have created. So what it will do in the background, it will be this value will be overridden by this particular value. So let's see like whether that is happening or not. So again I'm going to run it in debug mode, that is stepwise manner. Now you can see level up tick is there, and as soon as we hit run next action, we will be able to see learn RPA with level up tick. This value will has been overridden by this value. Okay, now if we do run, whatever value we have here right in the username, that will be shown over here. Okay, so let me stop it and then let me run it one more time in run mode so that we will be able to see the result, final result. As we can see, we are getting learn RPA with level up tick. Okay. So I hope now we are clear with set variable action. So what is our next action? That is truncate number, right? So again, here I'll be deleting one set variable and I'll also delete this as well. So where you will be able to find these activities and all the set variable, the truncate number, whatever activities which we are going to see, everything will be available under variables. And here you can see truncate number we have, correct? So I'm dragging that and here it is asking number to truncate. Okay. For now, I'll give some dummy number like 12.364. Okay. And in the operations panel, you have you will be having three things. When I click on this drop down, you will be getting three things. One is get integer part. So as we have discussed earlier, like if you want to get the integer part, then we can do it with truncate number, and also we will be able to get the decimal part also, and also we will be able to round off also. First we will see get integer part alone, next we will go with the other options. Okay. And here we have chosen get integer part, and what it is producing, it is producing a variable that is truncated value. The name of the variable is truncated value, and if you want to change it, yes, we can change it, as we already know how to change that, right? So I'll be giving it as int truncated value. Just it is the indication of this particular data type, but we don't need to worry about those stuffs. And here we will display whatever value got truncated, right? We'll display that with the help of display message. How we can do that again? Just click this, and this is the variable which we want to show, right? So I'm double clicking that so that it will appear over here, and we can click on save. I'll go with some. So if you want to save this workflow, whatever action if you are taking, if you want to save it, two ways. One is by clicking on the save icon, and the other one is the control yes shortcut. And now again I'm going to run it. This time be getting the value only 12 because this is the integer part, right? So we will be getting only this value alone. Okay, that is before the decimal. Whatever we have, that we will be getting it. This time I'll choose get decimal part, and this time what will be the output we will be getting? We will be getting 0.364. Okay, so let's see whether our expectation is getting matched, and we can see we are getting 0.364. We are asking truncate number to round off based on this first character, right? So here it is going to check the next number, basically the 6. It is going to check whether the 6 is equals to 5 or greater than 5. If it is equals to 5 or greater than 5, then this particular number, the first digit, whatever we have given, that will be getting converted. Okay. And if you are not going to give, and if you don't want to, like if you want to split based on this 3, right? Here in the information icon, if you don't want to round off, and if you want to get the result just as an integer, right, then you can go with 0, so that whatever value you are going to have here, right? For now we have the value as 3. What I will do is I will change it to 5. So here we have 5, so it is greater than here it is equals to 5, right? So whatever we have as an integer thing, that will be incremented by 1. We will be getting the output as 13 now. Okay, so let me run it now, and we'll result. As you can see, this is what we were expecting, and we were able to get the exact result. Okay, so using truncate number action, we will be able to do 3 operation. One is getting the integer part alone, and getting the decimal part alone, and also we can do the round off also. Now, the next activity which we are going to see is generate random number. So what this activity is going to do, as per our description, which we have seen, it is just going to generate a random number, correct? So I'm going to drag this particular activity before the display message, and here it is asking from which range to which range you want to generate the number, it is asking. Okay, so minimum range and then the maximum range it is asking. We can go with any numbers also. Okay, so I'm going with this particular number, and here again this particular activity is producing a variable that is random number. Okay, again I'm going to hit on save. This time we will be having our value in the random number, and I am going to access that random number over here. I'll be clicking on save, and the response which we are going to get from this activity is completely randomized. As you can see, this time we are getting 42, 76, 730, and when we run for the next time, it will be completely this time. See, it is getting started with 18, whereas last time it got started with 42, right? So whatever result we are going to get, it will be completely randomized. Okay, and here you have one more option, generate multiple numbers. For now we are getting only one line of result, correct? And if we enable this, and if we make it to 3, we will be getting 3 lines of randomized number. Okay, so and also as soon as we make it to 3, already we had the variable called a random number, but this time we are getting the variable name as random numbers. Why? Because it is going to generate three sets of numbers, correct? So that's the reason it is generating random numbers as a variable. So again, we can go over here and we can make the changes accordingly as random numbers. And once we run it, we will be able to see three. As you can see, it is a drop. The we can hover over till down, and we are getting three sets of line. And all these things are completely randomized results. Okay, so using generate random number, we will be able to generate the numbers randomly. Okay. So now the next activity which we are going to see is increase variable. Okay. So what this increase variable is going to do, let's assume you have a variable called new var, and inside new var you have a value called 12. Okay, so in new var you have the value 12, and if you want to increment this value by 5, correct, then by using increase variable you will be able to do it. I'm using that, and here in the variable name I'm going to call that variable over here. That is new var is the variable that is holding our value 12, correct? So I'm going to call that particular variable name over here, and it is asking increase by what value. So I want to increase it by 5. I have given 5 over here, and if I click on save, it will be getting saved. And here what I'm going to do is I'm going to display that new var over here. Again, we know how to access the variable, right? So I'm accessing the new var over here, and I'm clicking on save. And now once we run the file, we will be value as 7. Okay, so using increase variable, this is what we can do. And this time I'll go with a decrease variable, and we will delete the increase variable action. Okay, after doing this particular changes. Again, I'll be accessing the new var. This will have the value 12, and I want to decrement it by 5. Okay, so we will be getting the output as 7. So that's what our expectation. So let's see whether we were getting the same value or not, whatever we are expecting. And it is decremented. Whatever value which we had using the set variable activity, that is 12, it got decremented by this value 5. Okay, so using increase variable we will be able to increment it, and using decrease variable we will be able to decrement the number. Basically here these two activities, decrease variable and increase variable, is going to accept only numeric values. Okay, that's all guys for today's video. Stay tuned for upcoming videos. Until then, thank you. Bye bye.